Welcome back to Big Mouth. I'm Big Mouth, your host with the most. And once your girlfriends and wives see me, you may be in trouble. Now remember, if you want to be part of Big Mouth and you want to comment on what I'm discussing and the issues and the topics, tag me over on Twitter at Movies TV Mad and I will read out your thoughts and opinions. Right, is there a Justice League 2 in development from Zack Snyder and HBO Max? Now, there has been a little article doing the rounds in the past couple of days. I do apologise, but I've only just got around to kind of discuss this because there's a few things going on in the DC universe right now. But it is interesting. Now, I'm going to give you my thoughts after we read this article together. Exclusive. Zack Snyder and HBO Max are developing a Justice League 2 from Edward Lauder at a site called Small Screen. I've never heard of him or them, but that doesn't mean anything. It's been revealed to us by multiple sources that HBO Max and Zack Snyder are already developing Justice League 2. Snyder is already hard at work on making his upcoming 4-part Justice League series for HBO Max. However, according to our sources, Snyder and HBO Max are already planning a sequel to this upcoming 4-part series. We've already heard that Ben Affleck, Ray Fisher, Amber Heard, Joe Manganiello, most recently Jared Leto have all returned to film new scenes for Snyder's Justice League. The announcement that Snyder was going to get to release his cut of Justice League on HBO Max was huge. According to our sources, HBO Max and Zack Snyder have been working really well together, and they're now talking about making a sequel and are already working on the script. Before quoting my sources, I do want to make it clear that I always ask them beforehand if they're okay with this. Here's what one of my sources informed me of. Snyder and HBO Max are already talking about making a Justice League 2. As it stands, it will be another 4-part series as opposed to one movie. It might end up being released as a movie later on. Justice League 2 is in the works at HBO Max. Snyder is already working on a script with Chris Terrio. If true, very exciting. The third source, who didn't want to be quoted directly, added that at HBO Max is very keen to get the likes of Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill and Ray Fisher back to play their DC comic characters. The idea seems to make this yet another 4-part series with each episode being 4 hours long. Snyder had previously revealed that he was planning to make 4 more Justice League movies after the first one. We do know that the initial plan was to have Justice League be released in 2 parts. Therefore, there must be ideas floating around Snyder's head for where this whole story could go. It seems as though HBO Max really believes in Snyder's vision, as they should. They want to get work underway on this Justice League 2 series as soon as possible. On a personal note, I do like the idea of seeing Snyder's full vision for the Justice League. I wasn't the biggest fan of his DC Comics movies, yet he had a very strong vision for them, and that should be applauded. His previous films were also a lot better than the Justice League film we ended up getting, which was a huge mess. There's also that fact that Snyder makes some of the most visually striking movies in Hollywood. I don't mind seeing more of that. It also seems as though HBO Max will be the new home for Snyder's DC Comics Justice League vision. Obviously, the Justice League 2 might take some time to be released, since Snyder is also working on his Netflix movie, Army of the Dead. That's irrelevant. He's also reportedly working on untitled prequel to Army of the Dead, which should also be coming to Netflix at some point in the future. It has been reported that DC and Warner Brothers are currently working on other distribution plans for Zack Snyder's Justice League in international markets where HBO Max is not available. This is going to be especially interesting for those of us who don't live in the US. I lived in between the UK and France, and HBO Max isn't available in either country. So I'll be very keen to find out how they intend to release the new Justice League cut in these markets. Hopefully, they'll have all that sort of stuff sorted out by the time Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 is released. What do you make of this news? Well, I'm gonna spin this around for you. This was always the plan. The agreement they made, the agreement that Toby Emmerich, Jim Lee and Walter Hamada and Zack Snyder made, wasn't just to restore Zack Snyder's Justice League, but was to create a kind of series, to green light a Justice League series with a first season, a second season, a third season, a fourth season, a fifth season, maybe a sixth and a seventh and an eighth, right? This is kind of a Game of Thrones kind of thing. It's going to go on and on and on. And in between that, I believe Zack will do his Man of Steel sequel with Henry Cavill. And I think all this is going to be on HBO Max. Now, the Man of Steel sequel may be in series form too, or it could just be as a limited movie. It could be anything. Now, we discussed this as soon as Zack Snyder's Justice League was announced from Zack and HBO Max. This is the thing. So it's all in development. It's an ongoing series. It's like a streaming series. So it's not just Justice League 2 that's in development. It's the whole thing. And it's going to go on and on and on. And that's really, really exciting. So this is good to hear this kind of thing. But I don't think this is a shocking development. I don't think this has been on the cards in the past few days. I think this was always the plan. Zack Snyder is in a great position. He's working on DC projects that go straight to streaming. There's no controversy here because these were never going to go to the cinema or to movie theatres, however you want to place it or call them, right? So this is very exciting. The more we hear about Zack's relationship with HBO Max, it's very interesting. It's very inspiring. And I can't wait to hear more about the future of Zack Snyder's Justice League series and future seasons. Comment down below, like, share and subscribe, and I'll be back later with more videos. See you again soon.